Guys, XRP, where is the price heading in May? And also, where is the price heading in the long term? I want to talk about it in this video because I have seen some big analysis talking about a $3 plus XRP. There's been some other risky scenarios getting mentioned. But, you know, with XRP, the crypto, the way I've always analyzed this one is I'm interested in the big picture play for XRP. I'll talk to you guys what that is. And we'll do another XRP update. So it's great to do another XRP update. I haven't done one of these for quite a while on the channel right here. But it's really good to do an XRP update. If you guys want to see some more XRP updates about this crypto, where the price is going, where the journey's heading for XRP, let me know in the comment section below. And guys, let's get straight into this one. So if we actually have a very short-term look at this crypto before we look at the long-term, let's check out the price movements for XRP. So you can see it's relatively been pretty steady. The last month, it's actually been floating around the $2 level. It actually did drop down to this level, which is approximately $1.60 back towards the start of April right there. But we have actually hit, you know, some recent really big prices for XRP back at this zone and also back at this zone. This was looking pretty nice. We got up to around $3.36 before it encountered some levels of resistance. And there has been some interesting, you know, news break for this crypto. One of the big pieces of news is, you know, what happens to the price of XRP? Because at the moment we are seeing, you know, the Bitcoin price starting to rise. So if we actually have a look right here at the Bitcoin price, we're up to $97,000. So this is starting to take off. XRP not experiencing as much gains as Bitcoin in the short term. And I do consider this crypto to be more of a big picture utility play. So one thing that has been spoken about, and this is breaking news, is the ETF. So the ETF for XRP is hitting odds of about 85% right now. And this is putting, you know, a bullish narrative behind XRP. So it does say right here, XRP is up 4% in the last 24 hours, gaining momentum as investor optimism grows around the rising odds of a US XRP spot ETF approval. And this could definitely be something that pushes the price of XRP upwards. So if you guys don't know what an ETF is, exchange traded fund, and all it's doing is really opening up the demand for XRP to bigger institutions out there that don't want to self-custody this crypto, basically. So some people out there, they don't want to, you know, touch crypto. They don't want a cold storage wallet. They don't want to, you know, manage their own crypto. They just want to buy it on the stock market, basically. So they just want to buy on the stock market, sell on the stock market. And when you're going through an ETF, what you're actually doing for crypto is you're outsourcing the security handling of it, right, to a third party, to an expert who knows what they're doing. They're regulated by the government. They're audited by third parties. You know, they're not supposed to go off and steal your crypto. And if they do, there's real laws around that will seriously put those people in prison. And that's one of the things that could definitely open up, you know, demand for XRP in the future. So there could be some really big institutional players out there with, you know, billions of dollars. This will definitely be great for XRP because it's going to open up that demand side of the crypto. You know, these big institutions might say, look, I want to put XRP into my portfolio as a high reward crypto for one day once it really explodes. And I think that's a good opportunity also to talk about the big picture play for XRP. So really, you know, what do I honestly think about this crypto? Where does it go in the long term? What's my actual belief set about this crypto? We'll talk about that. But before we do, if you guys are interested in some really nice bonuses, make sure to check out Linktree. We've got Blowfin. If you're trading crypto, sign up with them. $5,000 bonus, no KYC, great UI. I use that one. Also use Bitchinix and ByteDefi, but that's all in the Linktree right here if you want to sign up. No KYC on every single one of them. And that supports the channel. So if you want some really good, honest analysis for XRP, no BS, like many other crypto channels out there, make sure to follow this channel, and we'll talk some more XRP on the channel right here. So honestly, you know, the way I see this crypto, look, it has been up to like $3.36. We mentioned that before. But I do consider this crypto, look, if this is going to take off, I think it's going to take off big. All right. So I do think this crypto has a massive amount of upside. It really does. Because the upside for this crypto, it's not really going to come through the ETF. So the ETF might potentially boost up the price on a, you know, more of a micro scale. But I would say the real upside comes down to, you know, XRP getting the adoption that it speaks about, that people speak about. And that has to do with, you know, global trade. It has to do with international transactions. It has to do with outcompeting the Web 2 market in, you know, deals, cross-border deals, you know, stable coins, all that type of stuff, because that market is astronomically big. I think it's probably the biggest, one of the biggest financial markets in the world for our use case, just cross-border transactions, transactions in general. You guys know there's Visa, there's MasterCard. We've also seen RLUSD, which I think is a really good, utility build out for this crypto. But at the end of the day, I feel this crypto, it's going to be a crypto getting led by Brad Garlinghouse. It's going to be up to Brad Garlinghouse to, get the deals done. So we're talking about, really big picture for XRP. If you want to see like $100 plus $1,000 XRP, it has to get those deals where it's partnered up with the Federal Reserve. It's partnered up with the central banks of the world. That's honestly what I think. It's partnered up with the investment banks, and they're actually using the Ripple technology. They're using the Ripple ledger. There's some burning of the crypto as it gets utilized on the ecosystem. That's what I'm thinking for this crypto to really get to those really big levels, because that's where it's going to justify the big market cap. So at the moment, it does have a big market cap. Let's be honest about that. It's 129 bill. That's not small. Fully diluted is 221 bill. But having said that, you have to also understand the crypto market. These market caps can go really, really high. There's no real ceiling on how high these prices can go. And that's one of the most exciting things about crypto. So, if you've tuned into my other updates where we talk about Bitcoin price, Michael Saylor is talking about a $200 trillion Bitcoin. He's Bitcoin market cap. He's talking about a $280 trillion Bitcoin market cap. At the moment, guys, it's only 2 trillion. So he's talking about 100x on Bitcoin. And again, you do 100x on Bitcoin, you do 100x on XRP. That's already $200. Okay, so there is a market for very, very high upside, speculation, store of value. Potentially we could get there one day. And but I do think, look, if XRP wants to do the crazy numbers, like the really, really big numbers, huge numbers, it will come down to utility. It will come down to, partnering up with the central banks, utilizing XRP across the globe. That's really what I'm thinking about this crypto. So I love XRP. It's a crypto I'm holding. I will hold this one for the long term. And I'm excited for the upside of this crypto. And as always, look, you have to stay patient. I think for a lot of cryptos, it's going to be a long-term journey, but there is a lot of upside for these types of cryptos as well. And also, I would say in the immediate term, we're seeing some really nice stuff come out of, macro side of things. So Michael's strategy, acquiring more Bitcoin, that's good for XRP because it's going to lift the market cap, the price of Bitcoin. We're seeing the S&P 500 record 8 straight winning days, which is great. Want to see more of that. We might potentially see a Fed cut rate, which would be another huge catalyst for the whole entire stock market, for the crypto market, which I think is fantastic. And we are seeing a lot of good stuff. Like, honestly, the vibe is really good in crypto at the moment. We have big catalysts. There could be a China-US deal getting sorted out super soon. That's going to send the crypto market way, way up. So I think right now, great time to stay patient. Great time to get ready. And that is a huge XRP update. So if you guys enjoy the XRP updates, let me know in the comment section below. We'll have more of these coming up in the future. And again, you want to get some nice trading bonuses, make sure to check out the partners, Blowfin, BitConnect, Bytify right here, and some other great options in the description of this video in the link tree. But guys, huge update. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Go have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Crypto Zeus signing out.